Aloha Honu, it's Mrs. Rankin. We're on day 5 of our design and build a game, and I've added a few more things to my game board. I'll show them to you, and then you can stop the video and maybe make a list or think about some of these features you might want to add to your game. So I had my path already, and I had my lucky and tricky spots, things to go back or things to jump ahead or go again. Now I found a butterfly sticker in my sticker collection, and that kind of goes with my theme, which is flowers to fruit. So I made a space that says chase a butterfly and then a little jump over. So if you land on that spot, you take that little bridge. Maybe you want to put a bridge or a tunnel somewhere on your game. Now the object of my game is to collect the most pollen points as you go through the path, because I don't want it to be just a race. I want it to be the person who learns about pollination. So I've added these little stickers on the board for pollen points. And then I've added some instructions here that says how many players, 2 to 4 players, the object or how you win the game. The player with the most pollen points at the end is the winner. And then start with 5 pollen points. And I've decided that the youngest player goes first. You could make it a roll to go first or junk and pull, whatever you like, because you're the designer. Now I'm not going to glue these down yet because I want to try my game and then maybe improve it. So once I get my final instructions that really work, then I'll glue them to the side of my board. So they're just taped down for now. And also I've just got this container taped down. These are my seeds for pollen points. Sort of goes with my theme. They could be buttons or they could be paper clips. But since I had some sunflower seeds, I've used those. I'm just going to tape them down right there so they don't get off the board. And then here are my pollen point cards. And this one says, place this card on top. When you land on a pollen point space, pick the top card and have someone read to you. And that's because the answers are also on the back of the card with the question. So I don't want the player that lands on this space to read their own card. I put the answer upside down in the corner, but I still want someone else to read it. So that's how I decided I could do that without the person getting the space being able to see the answer. Okay, so that's what I've done there. And I have some cards that I filled out and then some cards that I left blank because again, I want to try this game and then see if I need more questions. So I could always add some more questions. So I'll go ahead and put those down. So the last thing we need to do is get some playing pieces. Now, I found some playing pieces from another game in my house. I could use those. Okay, that might work. I also have some Scrabble tiles, and I thought, oh, well, we could pick out the letter with your first name. So my first name is Meryl, so that could be my tile, and move that maybe. You know, I also found these binder clips in a drawer, and I noticed they stand up really nicely. So if you've got different designs, or you could put numbers on them, or colors, a little sticker. So really just find anything that you can use. Maybe some buttons if you have. I'm sure you can find something. So I'll go ahead and use my little M. And I have an extra dice from just extra games in my house. So you might have one that you could borrow from another game. And of course, if you don't have dice, well, you know, you can make your own. You could get little strips of paper like this, and you could just cut them up. You could have 6 different pieces of paper. I'll just do 3 to show you what I mean. Okay, and then on the paper, you could write numbers. I just did 1, 2, 3. And then the numbers could be folded up in half so you can't see them. And then when it's your turn, you can just shake it and reach in, and the first one that you grab, that's your roll. So you could do something like that if you don't have a dice around. So don't let that stop you just because you don't have one of these. See if you can use your creativity. All right, so that's what you need to have before you can test your game. You need to have your background and all your arrows, your tricky your tricky spaces and your lucky spaces, maybe a tunnel or bridge. You don't have to have question cards. That was just something because I wanted mine to be a learning game. You could have little like facts cards. If your game is about under the sea, if your game is about outer space, you could have little spaces where people just pick a card and read something and learn it. That would be nice. And so I'm ready now to get somebody in my house to play this game with me and see what they say. See if they like it, see if I could make it better, and then I'll make some improvements. Okay, so go ahead and make a list of what you need to do for your game, and don't forget to send me a picture through the email. So that would be on my website, and I'll also put it at the bottom of our video today. So you can go back to the video link and you can find that. All right, I'm really excited to see what you come up with. Share your game with me. Aloha.